Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. I'm sure a lot of you remember that yesterday I made a prediction that Kyle Rittenhouse would be found not guilty on all charges. And I also said, well, I don't know that yet because I film a day in advance, but I was betting that he would be found not guilty on all charges. I just didn't see any other possible outcome. Well, by the time you see this, I'm betting that he will have been found not guilty again. Or, not again, but it will finally have happened because I can't see him going much beyond 3 days of deliberations. So let's hope that's already happened. If it hasn't, let's hope it happens soon. If I end up being wrong, well, then we're going to have some other videos coming out. But I hope I'm not wrong. Not only because I think he is innocent of what they're charging him of, and not only because this is a young man's life that's at stake here, but because I'm tired of talking about this. But there's so many questions still coming in. So many people that have misinformation. All kinds of misinformation out there. From everything from people thinking, oh, it wasn't a straw purchase, it was he was a member of a trust. No, that's not true. Though the straw purchase was dismissed. No, that's not true. That case is still pending. But the things that I'm really wanting to deal with is this whole notion that a lot of people think he's guilty because he's racist. He's a white supremacist. And that the only reason he went there is so he could shoot black people because it was a Black Lives Matter rally. I don't know where they're getting this information. It doesn't make any sense to me. I know some people are like, oh, Biden called him a racist. I never found anything where Biden called him a racist, although Biden did retweet a video where they flashed Kyle Rittenhouse's picture and they talk about racism and white supremacy being on the rise, which I think is very unfair. Whoever made that video should be ashamed of themselves. But also he just said, Trump failed to disavow racist and retweeted a video. He should have been more careful about what videos he's retweeting. It's kind of funny that you make fun of Trump for retweeting crap and then you retweet a video that's got a picture of a kid in it that, as far as I know, isn't even being accused of being a racist. So shame on Joe Biden for that. But this whole idea that he's racist, I just don't know where it's coming from. Now, I said there are some people that have trouble finding him completely innocent because they're like, why did he go there? Why was he there? It was a stupid decision, blah, blah, blah. That's why they have a little trouble, deciding he's not guilty, if there's anyone there deciding that. I said we have to realize that a lot of people will wonder, why did you go there? It was kind of like that analogy I used about why would a black man run into a Klans meeting holding an AR? They had to answer those questions. I think the evidence answered those questions for them. He was there because he wanted to help people. Some people say, well, who's he going to help? Was he there to help rioters? No, he was there to help protesters. You seem to forget that rioters and protesters are different people. And there was a protest there. But unfortunately, whenever there is a protest, a legitimate protest, there's always those parasites that come around also. The Antifas, the rioters, the looters, etc. And often the people that are there for the right reasons get into conflict with rioters and looters and get injured, or they just get between them and the things they want to steal or destroy, and they get hurt. So I can see tons of reasons and tons of people he would want to protect. I even myself asked that question earlier, and I was like, well, whoever would he be protecting? And then I thought to myself, well, what am I talking about? I'm absolutely wrong. There's a lot of people there I would think he would want to protect. So that's something I think was answered for the jury. He was there for the right reasons. Like I said, I think he's not guilty of all these counts, but I thought some people might be like, but why was he there? And they might need that explained to him. I feel like it's been explained to him by the defense and the prosecution. I think did a good job of proving him innocent of any other charges. So this idea that he's racist, it's garbage. I don't know why people are saying this. He's a teenager in the modern age. If he was racist, every little bit of evidence at that hearing would have been the prosecutor trying to say, this is a white supremacist who went there to shoot black people, but then got attacked by white people and ended up shooting white people. Oh, well, but he's not racist. I don't even know why racism is coming into this case because he shot other white people. He's white. He shot white people. I think there's people out there still that think that some of his victims were black. In fact, I've had people comment in my comment section that thought one or two of his victims were black, and I had to correct them. But, you know, I wasn't even aware that people were making racism an issue here until someone in my live chat said something. And I went through and searched my comments on my previous videos. So many people are saying he's guilty because he's a racist. I didn't see anything racist about this boy. I didn't see him bring any evidence that he's racist. So ask yourself, why are you making that determination? Why are you saying it's because he's racist when there's no evidence of that? There's, like I said, there's pictures of him there that day cleaning graffiti, picking up broken glass with BLM members. Other black people cleaning up after the rioters made a mess because they don't want to leave a bad impression. And he was helping them. His group was helping them. So I don't understand where this he's a racist is coming from. I think it's very unfair. And I think the people that are saying it, you really need to evaluate why you're saying that. Are you just repeating garbage you've heard on the internet? It's not anything that has any relevance to this case even, really, because he didn't shoot black people. If he was such a horrible racist, surely he had chances to shoot black people that night. But he didn't. He shot a white man who attacked him, who laid in wait for him, hiding, and then when he passed by, stalked and attacked him. He then shot a person who apparently thought they were stopping a mass shooter, according to some people, but that person was wrong. He was attacking an innocent victim of an assault, and he got shot in the process of attacking a victim. Doesn't matter what he thought. The reality was he was wrong. Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't an active shooter. He was a victim of an assault who defended himself. And then another person admitted to pointing a gun at him and advancing on him before he shot at him. So where are they getting the racism stuff? I don't understand it. He never shot anyone that night because of the color of their skin. Some people are like, oh, but there's video at points where he's pointing his gun at people. Maybe. He didn't shoot them, did he? So I don't understand how that's relevant either. I've pointed guns at people before too and not shot them. Does that mean that I was looking to kill someone? No. Sometimes I've just flagged people accidentally. I think we've all done that, gun shop, whatever. But maybe even at the range, you know, when we were younger and newer, maybe we flagged somebody. But I just don't get the racism crap. I understand some people who have a problem understanding what were they doing? Why were they there? Why were they armed? You got to remember, self-reliance, militias, anything like that is so foreign to some people, they just can't grasp the concept. They can't grasp the concept of why people would want to go help people they disagree with. That's one thing they can't wrap their head around. And they can't wrap their head around why people would be armed if they didn't want to use it. I think those of us in the gun community know why you are armed. We are often armed, and often people open carry for the purpose of deterring attacks so that we don't have to use them. But I understand some people, that's foreign to them. And we need to explain that to them, let it sink in a little bit. That I understand. But this whole notion that he's guilty because he's racist, that's ignorance. That's garbage. That's unfair. That is just, you are a pretty despicable person if you want to call a kid racist. And if he's anything like my kids don't give two shits about race. They're far less racist than I ever was growing up. Of course, they're not raised by practical Klansmen like I was, but they don't give two shits about race. They don't give two shits if someone's straight, gay, bi, transgender, any of that shit. They care if people are dicks or not. They don't care if someone has a dick. They care if they are a dick. And that's just the way this generation is. And I would assume Kyle Rittenhouse is pretty much like that. I assume, like I said in an earlier video, that his room is a fucking mess and there's garbage in his drawers. And someone needs to put a foot up his ass to clean it, because that's the way all the kids I know that age are. And I believe he probably doesn't care about race. So this whole notion that he's racist and that's why he should be found guilty, well, that is a bunch of hot garbage. Hey, I used up all my time on that first topic there, but I do want to say one more thing before I go. This is a follow-up on a portion of my video yesterday where I talked about downloading magazines by one round and how that whole notion that you have to do that for most guns is bunk. Some people said, well, yeah, but you didn't cover the feed lips. The feed lips are what are going to wear out. Well, here's a magazine right here, and this is not even a high-end magazine. This is a PMag. This magazine has been loaded 8 or 9 years. It's been in an emergency bag for 8 or 9 years. I did this on a video, and I've never used these PMags since then. It's still in perfect condition. There's nothing wrong with it from being loaded for that long. When people say things like the gun won't operate properly or the magazine doesn't operate properly when it's fully loaded, well, that's not people giving you a bit of advice. That's people making excuses for shitty products. If the gun won't work, if a full magazine's shoved in it, that's a problem with the gun. If the magazine won't work properly while fully loaded, that's a cheap fucking magazine with a problem with it. So stop making excuses for shitty things. If they don't work the way they're supposed to, don't use them. I disagree with some people who say, well, if your magazine has problems, if it's fully loaded, just always download it one. No, get another fucking magazine. Don't do things the way you shouldn't do them just because the magazine can't do it the way it should. Because a good magazine should, and you should never have to download a good magazine. And also for people who say, well, I just download one so that I can get it in easier. Well, in all the time I've been taught to handle rifles, especially M16s, ARs, etc., military, so forth, I've never once been told, and now you gently insert the magazine. No, you slap that bitch in there. So go ahead, fill it all the way up. You can download it if you don't want to do that. That's up to you at the range, blah, blah, blah. But don't feel like you have to, because any good magazine should be able to be filled all the way and should suffer no ill consequences because of it. All right, with that being said, I want to get out of here. But before I do, I want to remind everyone that we are still doing toy guns for tots. And I'm going to put a link in the upper corner of this video. I don't know what side it's on, but it's on the upper corner of this video, where you can go to the video where I described the giveaway we're doing right now, where we're going to be giving away 2 guns and a silver bullet. So click that link, go over, watch the video, and then go over to tympistolproject.com, donate, and be in the running to win one of the 2 pistols. And with that being said, I just want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I hope you come again tomorrow. And until then, I just want to remind everyone to always carry and stay safe until I see you again.